Your bones might be deteriorating without you even realizing it, and the reason could be on your plate. Most people believe that drinking milk and eating dairy is enough to strengthen their bones, but the reality is quite different. Some common foods, which seem harmless, are actually sabotaging calcium absorption and silently promoting osteoporosis. The worst part? Many of these foods are staples in the American diet and continue to be consumed without question. And it's not just about weak bones, the impact goes far beyond that. These foods also trigger inflammation, increase pain in the joints, and speed up bone demineralization. In other words, every meal could be deciding whether you have a strong bone structure or if you'll face serious problems in the future. But here's the good news. Identifying and cutting out these dietary villains can be a game changer for your health. Want to know what they are and how to avoid these mistakes? Then keep watching, because this information might just change your life. Most people have no idea how a simple soda can affect their bones. Seems harmless, right? But here's the problem. These drinks are loaded with phosphoric acid, a compound that blocks calcium absorption, which is essential for keeping bones strong. The result? Over time, this deficiency weakens bone structure and increases the risk of osteoporosis. To make things worse, many of these beverages are packed with caffeine, which speeds up calcium loss even further. Now, imagine your skeleton as a structure that requires constant maintenance. Would you replace concrete with sand? That's exactly what happens when you swap water and natural drinks for soft drinks. And there's more. The excess sugar in these products fuels inflammation. Your body reacts as if it's under attack, triggering silent inflammations that, over time, lead to muscle and joint pain. Ever felt that heavy sensation in your legs after a long day? It's often not just fatigue, but a sign that your body is reacting to a diet high in sugar. And don't think switching to a zero version solves the problem. These drinks are still full of chemical additives that harm bone health and increase sodium levels, another villain for bone density. But now what? How do you replace these drinks without losing the pleasure of a refreshing beverage? The answer lies in smart choices. Try naturally flavored water, like citrus-infused drinks or unsweetened iced teas. Another great alternative is kombucha, which is not only refreshing but also packed with probiotics that aid in absorbing essential nutrients for bones. If the idea of quitting sodas sounds impossible, start reducing gradually. Swap one glass for sparkling water with lemon and adjust over time. Small daily habits make a huge difference when it comes to long-term bone health. And speaking of hidden dangers, there's another major enemy that people consume daily without realizing the damage it causes. An ingredient found in most modern foods that promotes inflammation, interferes with calcium absorption, and could be sabotaging your bone health right now. Want to know what it is? Keep reading. Oh, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss more tips like this. Winking face. If there's one ingredient that acts as a silent villain in the body, it's refined sugar. It not only hijacks your taste buds but also triggers widespread inflammation, directly affecting your joints and muscles. This means that stiffness in the morning or that nagging back discomfort might be linked to excessive sugar intake. And as if that weren't enough, sugar also interferes with calcium absorption, making bones weaker and more prone to fractures. No wonder so many people develop osteoporosis without even noticing the warning signs. Now, think of your body as a luxury car. Calcium is like premium fuel, essential for peak performance. But when you consume too much sugar, it's as if you're contaminating that fuel, preventing it from doing its job properly. As a result, your bones become porous and fragile, increasing the risk of falls and fractures. And don't assume the danger is only in obvious sweets. Bread, breakfast cereals, and even store-bought sauces contain hidden amounts of sugar, often disguised under names like corn syrup or maltodextrin. The good news? You don't have to give up flavor to protect your bones. Instead of refined sugar, try natural sweeteners like stevia, raw honey, or coconut sugar. If you crave something sweet, go for fruits like dates or blueberries, which not only satisfy your sweet tooth but also provide powerful antioxidants that combat inflammation. Small dietary changes can have a massive impact on your quality of life. And speaking of food choices that affect your bones, there's another group of everyday foods that many people eat without realizing the long-term damage they cause. They're convenient, fast, and tasty, but they contain substances that sabotage your bones over time. Have any idea what they are? If not, keep reading, because this next piece of information might completely change your perspective on food. The convenience of processed and fried foods may seem irresistible, but the cost to bone health is high. These products are loaded with trans fats and saturated fats, which don't just harm the heart, they also interfere with calcium absorption. The problem is that calcium can't do its job alone, It needs to be properly absorbed to strengthen the bones. When the body constantly receives these unhealthy fats, it prioritizes digesting them over absorbing essential nutrients. The result? Weaker bones, a higher risk of osteoporosis, and frequent joint pain. But that's not all. Many of these foods are packed with sodium and preservatives, which promote fluid retention and inflame the body's tissues. Have you ever noticed that after eating fast food or a frozen meal, your hands or feet feel swollen? That happens because excess sodium disrupts the body's fluid balance, making circulation more difficult and increasing the sensation of heaviness and pain in the joints. Over time, this process leads to chronic inflammation that wears down cartilage and compromises mobility. So, how can you maintain a convenient diet without sacrificing your health? Replacing fried foods with baked or air-fried versions is a great start. Plus, opting for homemade snacks like sweet potato chips, nuts, or even natural popcorn can be an excellent alternative to processed junk food. Another smart trick is always having quick and healthy options on hand, like boiled eggs, natural yogurt, and fresh fruit. These small swaps make a huge difference in protecting your bones and preventing osteoporosis. And if you think you've seen the worst, wait until you find out what certain types of carbohydrates do to your bone health. They seem harmless, they're a breakfast staple for many people, and they're even considered normal in the American diet. But in reality, they have a devastating effect on your bones, promoting inflammation and structural weakness. Want to know what they are? Keep reading. Now that you know which foods might be destroying your bones, the question is, what will you do with this information? Most people ignore these signs and only realize the problem when it's too late. But you don't have to follow that path. Small changes in your daily routine, like reducing your intake of soft drinks, refined sugar, and processed foods, can make a huge difference in preventing osteoporosis and reducing inflammation. After all, if your body were a house, would you choose weak materials to build it? Your bones are your foundation, and it's up to you to strengthen them. And don't think changing your habits has to be radical or difficult. Smart swaps, like choosing natural drinks, healthier sweeteners, and nutrient-rich foods, can improve your bone health without sacrificing the pleasure of eating well. The real question is, are you willing to make this effort now, or will you wait until pain and joint issues force you to? Your future depends on the choices you make today. If you've made it this far, it means you truly care about your health, and that's already a huge step. But don't stop here. There's still a lot of essential information to ensure strong bones and a healthy body. For example, did you know that mixing milk with certain foods can be a serious mistake? Yes, it could be blocking the absorption of essential nutrients. To understand this risk better, don't miss this video. Don't make this mistake. The hidden danger of mixing milk with certain foods. And of course, if this content was helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. Your health will thank you, and so will I.